Hello everyone, welcome to Carry On with Carrie. This is episode 2, May 18th, 2023. And Ting is here with me again. I'm so excited to do this with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm super stoked. And we'll see where this goes.
Right?
Just being here with you, Carrie, is like a treat.
Oh, well, you made my day when she pushed me to do this. And it's awesome to be here with you too, because I don't know, it's for me, if some of us listeners might know a little bit about trauma, and Ting is here to kind of tell us a little bit about her experiences with a few things, but she's a trauma-informed yoga teacher. And I don't know, can you explain to us a little bit about what you kind of like where you got going with this and what a little bit of a side note of what trauma-informed yoga is?
Yeah, happy to. Actually, being a trauma survivor myself, I applied to a scholarship. It's a yoga training, a teacher training school in New York, and I got the scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, last year. So after a couple of support letters and interviews, via Zoom, of course, they told me I was chosen one of the few lucky ones that got the scholarship. And trauma-informed yoga is just all about making all the participants, including the teacher, the facilitator, being comfortable and feeling safe.
Right.
That's the main key.
So important.
So important. And so because I've attended classes that are not very inclusive and not very accepting. So I think that's the main focus of it, especially, inclusive of what body type, what color, what level you are.
Right.
In yoga.
And so, and in a place of no judgment, and I can speak firsthand because I've been to a couple of your classes, and it's comforting, and it's you feel safe. It's a very, very safe place.
Yeah, and it can also mean simple things like, making sure that they feel comfortable if they want to close their eyes, or if they can do some poses, simple things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so were you doing yoga before that? Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been practicing yoga for maybe 5 years before I went to school for the trauma-informed yoga teacher training. And lots of experience, learning experience, some not so good.
Yeah.
So, and some I feel judged, and some places I feel that I don't belong if I don't wear the right kind of yoga.
Right, and that is a big thing, right?
Yeah,
it is.
And if I don't do the advanced level or not Instagram worthy poses, I feel like I'm short of that. But I want it to be more inclusive, so
Yeah, no, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think there's a lot of people that could relate to that feeling. And I know for me, it means a lot that you've even offered, like you offer kind of a sliding scale too. And because that is a huge, between the stigma, like, I don't want to say a stigma, that's not the right word, but it seems unreachable to some people. And I think that if it can be a bit more main level, more people will get involved and realize how good it is for your mental health.
Oh yeah, for me, it's saved me. It's literally saved me my life, right? Doing yoga, and by teaching it and by sharing my love for yoga is also important for me. That learning aspect and sharing aspect.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, if you are comfortable sharing, can you kind of? Did you want to share anything about kind of where your mental health journey has, like what led you to this side of things? Because I find everything happens for a reason, and it's, there's a path that eventually brings us to this end of the healing process and the need to, and the feeling and the want to heal others.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Can you repeat the question?
Of course. Just I kind of, that was long and drawn out, right?
Sorry.
That's awesome. She has the best laugh. Oh my god, that's awesome. When did you start? Like, just a little bit about your path, like with mental health. Was there other, like, was there something that led to this point of wanting to? Was there anything that you wanted to share that is relatable to other people?
Okay, I don't want it to go too deep, but
No.
I was in such a dark place at one point, and maybe several points in my life. When I was so young, when I was in middle age and at this advanced ripe age, there's so many points, so many markers that felt that I entered the dark hole, the deep hole of my life. And then I wanted to move because I miss moving. I used to be a competitive dancer. Maybe that's part of it. And then I found yoga when they offered free, trial week, a 1 week trial for free in where I live. So I tried that, and I felt at ease. And I think honestly, the best part of this it was dark,
Right?
And I didn't know anybody, and I felt that it's more of an out of body experience, that I can move. And there was some point that I was almost crying. And I was, trying to tell and console my former self that it's going to be okay. And by moving and doing this, the warrior poses and the yoga poses, especially the Shavasana.
I was about to ask, what is the best? Yeah.
Shavasana is the most important pose.
Okay.
I will say that to you as a yoga instructor, because that's where you put everything together, that it's, that you're grateful of this body, because this body is the most amazing thing you'll ever own.
It's yours.
Whether it's
This is
yours.
your temple.
Yeah,
That's
it's your
right.
temple.
Yes.
And the breath.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
No, you did 100%. I think that's awesome, and that's what this is about, just talking, right? So
Yes.
if it goes down to, but I do want to ask if you can tell the viewers and explain what Shavasana is.
Yeah,
like what pose is that?
It's Shavasana. It can be opening, the middle, or the end of the yoga sequence. It's actually literally meant corpse pose.
Okay.
I know. So it's the end. It's like, once you put together all the practice that you did and what you felt in your body and what you want to feel, and you're present, and your breath is all together, and just lying there and just letting it go. Yeah, and just feeling it out. That's Shavasana for me.
Right. Well, I can see how that would bring out, like you said, it made you emotional when you began, and I actually had a similar. The first time I did yoga was a hot yoga. I tried it with a friend, and I was extremely insecure to try it because of all the things we discussed, and but it was in a dark room.
Yeah.
And hatha yoga, is it the
Yeah.
long 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one breath, one movement, mostly.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I did too. I cried a little bit. I got very, like, it was definitely self-love, and I think that I just wish more people would kind of be able to go down, like, just to find the resources and the place that fits them too. Like, I imagine that there's been some areas you like and some you don't, or some. Yeah.
And I wanted to reach out to the people that are in the margins. Like, I volunteer. I try to volunteer and give back to my community through the older generation. I guess that's the proper way of saying seniors. And even the younger ones,
The more mature.
the more matured.
Yes, see?
I guess it's politically correct. And I encourage them that after they're taking care of a lot of people, it's time to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and to go, if you can go inward. Sometimes it's difficult and it's hard, but if you can, and yeah, I try. It's hard, but trying. That's why it's called practice. It's
Right.
never perfection.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it progress over perfection? Or
Yep.
It's,
Yeah.
It's progress, not perfection.
Yes.
Is that how it is?
Something like
Okay.
that.
Something like that.
And FYI, I'm not an expert, right?
No, and I guess that's what we have to. I'll put disclaimers and stuff. I am not a therapist, and I
Yeah.
cannot claim to be a mental health professional.
Yeah.
So all of this is just talk and just personal experiences, and I'm just. It means a lot to me that you were willing to share this stuff with me.
Oh,
And
Carrie, my honor. I'm so, privileged to be here with you and to be able to share my voice. Yeah.
Well, and I guess people, Ting and I met last year. We're part of a meditation group. It's called Rua.
Yeah.
And it's a women's wellness group that we just wound up. It was in our friend's Brit's our living room, sorry. And there was 4 of us, and Ting and I were 2 of the first to go. And it's just, it's been quite a year. And I think it's just with meeting a group of women that are supportive of each other
Yes.
is so important as well, to find a tribe that works to support and not deflect from each other.
Yeah.
How is that been like for your meditation journey? Like to me, yoga is like meditation.
Yeah, it's for me, it's an extension. It's part of the holistic mental wellness, health and wellness for me. And again, it doesn't matter where you are from, what your background is, your economic status, your educational attainment, even where you are in life. And I thought even your personality, like I'm an introvert.
Right, so am I.
Yeah. But I felt welcome into that group, and I felt at home.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something too, bringing all these things to the forefront, is being able to, rely on friends when you're up or when you're down, and all these, being able to share what different health modalities would be. There is Western medicine. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a lot more alternatives that maybe people just aren't aware of. And
Yeah.
I know for me, that's why I wanted to start talking out about this a little bit more, because there's so many more options.
Yes. And there's, I respect Western medicine, but functional medicine is another thing. And Ayurveda and the Eastern, the traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, it all, when you try and it works for you. Again, it's a personal choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll find what, just like you'll find your people or your tribe. I think you find what fits the best, whether it be the building that you do it in, if it doesn't feel comfortable, or especially if we're talking about trauma, there's certain triggers that can happen, right? And it's so important to feel like you're in a place that's safe. And that also includes not only the environment, the people, the music, everything, your senses, right?
That's part of the trauma informed. By engaging the senses, make sure that you're not triggering, like you said, and accepting the language is so important as well. And making sure that they're welcomed, whoever they are and wherever they come from.
Exactly. Yeah. There's you come in with no judgment. That's the one thing I loved about my first. You're leaving your luggage at the door, and your voices are so soothing, and it's like you're being, like a puppy. You're just. But it's to me, it's a beautiful thing that you do, and the way she speaks is just. You really make me feel at ease when I go into one of your classes. And I know at one point you said, I don't know if I sound that good or something like that, and I'm like, no, I love it.
Oh, thank you. And I think that's one thing that I do accept, that I lack confidence, because I guess, my accent and everything. But I'm learning.
No, it's beautiful. You have such a soothing, like, it's just natural to me. You have a very naturally soothing way about you. So
thank you. You're filling my cup and my heart. Okay.
Yes. So I just wanted to ask I think it might be a hard question to ask, but if you had a superpower, what would you want it to be?
Oh my gosh. You didn't tell me this, Carrie, in advance.
No, I have a few surprises.
My superpower. Sorry?
I have to have a few surprises.
I know. I think I would be kind. If it's, it doesn't matter if you're not kind to me. If I can be kind to whoever, whatever it is, I will use that superpower. And I think, yeah.
That pretty much describes you,
Oh.
I think. But no, that's a pretty amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
May I ask you?
What my
the same?
superpower would be?
Yeah.
That is a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so much,
But
like
touche.
money. Maybe money.
Yeah, I wish money was my superpower. I think that I actually would probably, without being it's not very original, but kindness, I 100% believe that too, is what you, not so much you don't have to expect something in return. It's just, everybody's in their own place. And sometimes that's hard to, like, if you've been trained not to think that way, it takes time to retrain your brain. And I think that the world right now especially just needs a lot more kindness.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
We're at a point, like, people are just over the edge, and they're like just giving up, and there's so many things happening that push them over the edge, and not forget to be kind.
Yeah, well, it is, and then people are set off so easily because we're just all, like, there is so much going on. It's just, it doesn't stop for most people.
It doesn't stop. Like pandemic, the racism, politics, like everything.
Yeah. And then you add the social media aspect to things, and that it used to be that you could turn off and maybe just read a book, like, or watch a TV show that was innocent, but now it's really it's just a different world, and to navigate that quiet time, and the what, actually I just finished watching the Queer Eye.
Oh, I love that.
What is it? Queer Eye.
Yeah.
Queer Eye. Yeah. Anyways, what a wonderful, like, the message through that whole thing.
I love those people.
It's just,
they're so kind and so talented.
They're so talented, and they just uplift everybody, It's,
positive.
Yes, and that's what I like. Realized we tend to watch a lot of negative.
Yeah, but not toxic positivity.
Right.
I don't agree with that.
No. And so, can you explain what you mean by that?
Some will just be positive, like, can be condescending.
Yes.
Like, I can sense it. You can feel. I have a BS detector, right?
Oh, that's awesome. I'm working on mine still. I'm still trying to find mine. I think I have it, but we all have it.
We all have it. But then, of course, sometimes if they see me and they look at me and I look different, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know if someone's being nice, just for them they can feel better for themselves because they're extending kindness to someone who's different than them. That's not kindness to me.
No, it's disingenuous.
It's not genuine.
Yes.
So I think that's for me. And then again, if you are in tune with your heart, and I don't say I am 100%, sometimes maybe, but most of the time not. If you're in tune with your intuition, you have that. You will feel it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that we all just have to trust that more. Like when we speak of intuition, what is that to you? it's a feeling for me.
Yeah.
It's you get those spidey senses or
Yeah.
whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it.
Yeah.
And if that little voice back here,
Yeah.
if it's saying, well, maybe not, I don't like that so much. And
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
intuition.
And the gut.
And your gut.
They said the gut is the second brain, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and so in trauma informed, like all the chakras and all that,
Yep.
is that part of the practice, or is that separate?
It can be.
Okay.
I am still. I did take my Reiki training. It's more energy healing, but I'm not. I don't. I can't say that I'm still a practitioner. I'm still learning about that. So I'm still on the early stages of learning chakras.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just started to
Yeah.
as well, and part of for me is my throat chakra.
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah.
again, I will have to get the names for you. But for me, the throat, I know when things aren't going well, when I have a lump in my throat,
Yep.
and I'm not, I don't use my voice.
Yep.
And so part of this as well with the podcast is it's an expression using your voice and being able, it's okay to talk about your experience and to open up about things.
Yes. Yes, and this is a safe place, and I feel that I don't feel any judgment from you, or maybe from the people who's listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, and you know what I'm learning about that with the judgment, it's maybe it served me at one time to think that somebody was judging me, and it might have served a certain part of my life.
Yeah.
But I think when you start to open up to all of these other things, judgment really is you don't need it. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't
Yeah.
it says more, I think, about the person judging than and I don't want to sound, but I think I hope I'm articulating this the way I want to.
Yeah, I think I'm getting it. I think like myself, I can be more of a people pleaser, and I
Yes.
always make I try to make people happy, and that's impossible. And I always worry about what people think.
Yes.
I think
Me too. We're very similar. Even after I did the first one of these, I was like, what have I done? I've opened up this Pandora's box. Like, what
Yeah, but
yeah.
whatever, right?
That's right. Whatever. In the end, we're all,
We have a few people who said really they like it and they were smiling.
Yeah,
That for me,
that's all I need.
yeah, shout out to Carrie-Ann.
Yes, thank you, Carrie-Ann, who's going to be a future guest.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, is there anything else that you can think of that you really want to get your point across? Like,
Yeah, there is actually, now that you mention it. Do something, do things that give you joy. I think for me, like even the simplest thing of taking a walk for 1 minute. Hopefully it's not minus 40 or plus 40 with smoke. Or even doodling or journaling or drinking your coffee or just staring out the window. Whatever that makes you happy, do that. And as long as you're not harming anybody or yourself, right?
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And it is those simple things, right?
Yes.
I think we all search so much for the complicated way around
No,
healing.
yeah.
And it's sometimes just sitting and being with yourself, and like
Yep.
you said, just doing something that makes you happy.
That
It
makes
brings
you happy. That brings you joy. And yeah, I think that for me is it's simple, but
What brings you joy?
what gives me joy? Yeah, I think for me is just dancing.
You love dancing? Yes.
Dancing in the kitchen when nobody's watching, with ABBA, Dancing Queen.
Oh, of course, ABBA.
Of course, ABBA. Yeah, or just, if there is a bud sprouting from what I planted, that gives me joy.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know why, but simple things.
Because it's just beautiful. That's
Yeah, or the puppy is like so happy to see me.
Right. And what's your puppy's name?
Peach.
Peach. Oh, right. Yes. Peach.
Yeah.
Just a little peach.
Yeah.
I have a Claire. She makes me happy.
Yeah, Claire makes me happy too.
Yeah, and that's it. I think animals really do. You actually did yoga
With puppies.
With puppies or
Yeah.
with goats too?
With goats, with puppies, with chickens. I know.
Really? And so,
Yeah.
which was your favorite?
I think my favorite is the sheep.
Oh yes.
Because they're so even tempered.
Yeah.
Sometimes chicken's so so yappy and
Right.
so and goats can. It depends on their mood. They
Right.
can be moody,
Mm-hmm.
and puppy is cute. But again, when they do their, I might be saying this, zoomies.
Oh yes, the zoomies. I just found out about that a couple of years ago. I'm like, what is the zoomie?
I know, what is a zoomie?
After a bath, they get like
Yeah, and it's like just
Yeah.
what? Yeah, but
yeah. Well, that would be. I wanted to try the sheep one, but I never did get out there.
Yeah.
But if
One
you do it
day.
this summer.
Yeah.
You were doing yoga outside as well.
Yep. I do offer yoga at the park, free ones.
Okay.
Which is, those free ones are like soul filling for me. Because, I think you're the same, Carrie.
Yes.
You overthink and you want to offer the best. So you,
Yes.
you get so stressed. And I get so
Yeah.
stressed.
I know, it is.
And nervous.
And in the end, people, we just talked about simplicity. Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep it simple, and people will be happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I ask you what gives you joy, Carrie?
What gives me joy? Art. I do love my art, and it's something. Singing as well. So I'm a very creative person, I think, but I do have to take more time like I do calligraphy, and
Yeah.
and I started it as a meditative kind of practice. But I love to sing. My mom often always said, I can tell when you're happy, Carrie, when you're singing.
Yeah.
So I used to sing a lot, and I'll drive my family crazy sometimes singing, and I don't know half the words and make them up myself, but that's okay.
Love it.
And I love doing it. So yeah, so it's creative, the creative side that makes me happy, and then just seeing joy on other people, like doing things with my family. I really like walks. Walks have always been a huge thing
Yeah.
for us,
And it's free.
It's free. That's right. And the dog park is so nice.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
have a dog.
Yeah.
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 But things like that. It's again, it's just like the simple things. Yes, would I love to travel the world, which I will.
Yeah, me too. Why do we have to go closer?
I don't know.
to
It
the
seems
mic?
more real.
Yes, Carrie.
Carry on with Carrie.
Carry on with Carrie.
Oh my God. I have to say, this is so much fun. Like, I was so nervous, but it's like anything else. If you just sit down and be real and just talk to each
And
other.
laugh,
Yes.
and it's going to be okay.
And her smile just makes me want to smile. So.
Carrie.
Okay, if you could tell me, I guess we probably should wrap up here soon. But what would you say would be the best thing that you should do every day at the end of your day?
Breathe in, breathe out. And on top of that, I know sometimes they say, why do I need somebody to tell me to breathe?
It's true.
It's true, right? Because I'm guilty. I do shallow breathing. But if I intentionally breathe and think and mindfully and close my eyes and take a deep breath, and then slowly exhale, and maybe a smile inside and out. And if you have time, maybe rub some essential oil on your feet. I think that will be, for me, is an extra treat before I go to bed.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And it is true. You have to remind yourself how to to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of essential oil? I do have to ask that. What do you prefer? Which ones?
Lavender. I know. My husband told me it smells like an old lady. I'm an old lady, so I don't know.
No, you are not. But you know what? Getting old is a privilege. So right?
Yep, like wine, they say, right?
Yes.
You become-
I've heard. Yes. So that, I don't know. I had a great time with you, and
Oh,
I just
same.
so excited. We're gonna have a few more, I hope. And
I hope you, Carrie doesn't kick me out. Come on, please tell her not to.
I will never kick her out.
But we have a list of other guest speakers coming up, right?
Yes, I've spoken to a few people, and I have Carrie, she's a body talk expert, I guess,
yeah.
I would call her. And Tabatha does Akashic Records and just motivation, you know. I'm hoping to get people with a whole bunch of just a different array of
Real estate agent.
yes, let's get a real estate agent on here. Let's empower women.
Yeah.
And this is about mental health, but mental health being in every aspect of like just discussion helps, right? Just talking. It doesn't even have to be about that. It just
anything under, you know, whatever. Yeah. And if they have comments,
if anybody has any comments or suggestions, for sure. For any of you that have already followed me on Facebook or Instagram at carryonwithcarrie_podcast, and then just Carry On with Carrie on Facebook, I really appreciate your support and a listen. And if you feel that you're drawn to it, to share and comment, just leave some suggestions as what do you want to come up with. Or actually, I do somebody else I want to mention is Maya. Maya is also a yoga instructor, teacher, and so she wants to be, and she has so much. She's just a lot of fun, and I can't wait for that. So. So I appreciate the follows, and it just anybody listening, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to out of your day to just experience something a little different with us and listen to. It's just been such a pleasure to talk to Ting, and give us. Do you know the more podcast plays, the more people hear it, the more people share it, it helps the algorithm, all that stuff. So please help us. If you feel drawn
to it, no pressure. Come on, do it.
Come on, do it.
There's more coming. Carry on with Carrie.
I love it. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. This is Carry On with Carrie podcast. Over and out, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. It's going to be awesome. Bye.
Bye.